Easier go it. Hello, hello, hello. Where are we? 2 minutes early. What's up? Sorry, finishing up my dinner. We just got home back from the church a little while ago. We went down for the free food that our church has been getting out through Radical Heart. Let's see. I think in 30 minutes we gave away right at 200 meals. So Julie and I went down and tried to help out a little bit. First time is awesome. That group is a great group of folk. They're still down there on Wednesday night helping by appointment. I think they got 10 to 14 families that are coming by tonight shopping for food and clothing and such. So if you're on, I see 4 so far. If you're on, let us know who you are, who's out there. Say hello to us. Remember how this works. We're here for conversations, to have answer your questions, chime into your concerns or thoughts. Here we are, the end of April. Nobody thought this is where we'd be, but we are. Good to see you. Come on, give me the thumbs up. Open the chat. Tell us who you are so we can talk to you. I don't know who you are. There's somebody. Hey, Greg and Paula. Back again. Woohoo. Awesome, awesome. Leanne Cohen is here. Hello, Miss Leanne. Why do I need to feel like I call you Miss Leanne? I always do. Like Miss Vicky, Miss Leanne. I don't know. It's out of respect, I'm sure. Julie will be here. This is her chair. She'll be here in just a second. She's sitting over there finishing a bowl of multi-grain Cheerios. That was her dessert. Is that your dessert? Mm-hmm. She made dinner tonight, and it was like last minute, throw it together. Because like I said, we were at the church, and it was I don't know how to describe it. It was good. It was good. Far East meets South. Far East meets South. So it's kind of Chinese with a Mexican twist. But it was good. I had 2 bowls of it. And now she's eating her dessert, which is a bowl of multi-grain Cheerios. So she's going to be over here in just a second. So, Leanne, you're not older than me. I don't think you are. Are you really? Is Leanne Cohen older than me?
No.
No.
You're older. You're way older.
I know I look younger. But here's my dessert. Anybody know what this is? Greg, you know what this is? Come on, man. Throw it out there to me. It's one of the best snack crackers. Cheetos. Not Cheetos. What is it? Cheez-Its. Yep. All right. I'm going to get some more time. It's just 7:02 for other folks. Hey, jump on. Say hello. When you jump on, let us know who you are. We got some more folks need to tell us. Leanne says, nope. That's not right. Okay. You say so. Greg, you got it. You got it, man. I can't pass nothing by you, Greg. No way. No way. That's impossible. All right. So, hey, Dan. Dan the man is here with Boo Boo. Is Boo Boo sleeping or is Boo Boo awake? Right there sitting with you, probably. Here's our Boo Boo. Where is he? There he is. There's Scooby Dooby. Yes. Now he's going to come over here and think I'm going to want to mess with him. That's Scooby. He is a mess. Hey, Cheryl. Good to see you, girl. Thanks for jumping on again. More folks are jumping on. Hit the thumbs up. If you haven't, we're going to continue the conversations into May since we're still in safe at home orders. I think I get so confused. I've been watching it. It's like, I don't think we're supposed to be going much anywhere or opening much stuff up. It seems like more folks are, but we're not yet. We're going to stay home and stay safe. So good evening. Good evening, Cheryl. Good
I moved to
evening.
6 Cheetos.
Oh, she's back. She's here from the Cheerio Bowl to now what?
6 Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its. This is
What happened to that?
this is for you, so you can read. All right.
What snacks do y'all have? Are you guys just like being good?
Oh yeah. What's
Just
your
watching us chow down?
what? See, Scooby's right here. I told you he'd be. See, I called his name, so he's right here, wanting me to scratch his head. So that's what I'm doing. So we do have one question that came via Facebook, I think, from somebody. We'll get to. If you have a question, anything you want to know about us, our family, the farm, the church, spiritual growth, we want to chime in there with you. So, hey, Ron, Melinda, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in again. Appreciate that.
We have a faithful 9 people.
Faithful. There's 10 now. See, they're jumping in there. They're coming on. Everybody's busy, man. It's crazy, even in the crazy world. So again, those who just came on, we just got back to the church with the Radical Heart. We feed 200 meals at 5 o'clock. Cars are lined up. They start lining up like at 4:30. And then they line up around the corner in our parking lot. And their second harvest gives the food to the chef or the restaurant. Tonight was bird cat.
Something with a cat and a bird.
Bird cat.
Same company as Merchants.
Merchants and Bird Cat, they're owned by the same company.
We've never eaten there, so I don't really know what the name of it is.
But they prepared the meal.
It looks yummy.
And they put it in to-go containers, and then what's that food company? Dan,
Second Harvest.
No, Cisco.
Harvest.
Cisco. So Second Harvest gives the food. The restaurant prepares it. Cisco comes, picks it up in their trucks, brings it to the different locations around the city. We're one of them on the east side at the church. They bring them 200 meals. We unpack them and then put them on tables, and we got them going to the organized drive-through by the preschool entrance. And they just drive up. We say hello to them. They can have up to 5 meals per family. And we give them also a bag of like simple goodies
Till we run out.
to give them a little something extra that the Radical Heart
You
had.
have some questions.
And so we just got back from there. And this, man, if you could help out there, let Lori and Radical Heart every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 5 nights. It's at 5 o'clock, and it takes about, well, you get there around 4:30 to help unload the truck. Then at 5, you give out food, and by 5:30, you're done. You're out of there. So
They've done a great job. Very well organized.
very well organized. Always proud of those people. So if you can help out, email Lori, and she'll set it up when you can come by. Questions? Yes.
First question from Leanne. What's your favorite book of the Bible? Really, seriously? You can't pick just one.
My favorite book of the Bible, I'm going to
That's
say, is
a
James.
Really?
Yep.
That's a hard one.
James is a hard one.
It makes me cry all the time.
James makes you cry?
James is very convicting.
Oh.
Of course, all of them are very convicting, but James especially is very convicting. My favorite book.
I guess I like being convicted. I like James. Very practical.
It is practical.
Okay, we can't go on until you answer the question. What's your favorite book of the Bible? Hey, Tevin. Good to see you,
I don't
bud.
know, I might say Romans, because Romans
Oh,
Romans is the book that finally, I don't even know how to phrase
Precept.
this.
Precept class.
Yes, but it finally freed me or saved me. I'm not really sure which one. And I'm okay with that. I'm
Wait a
okay with
minute.
it.
I think freed and saved are the same.
No, it freed me from a stronghold of doubt.
Okay.
I guess I didn't finish
Oh,
that sentence
okay.
or that thought.
Okay.
Or saved me. But anyway, that's the verse I go back to. I was my testimony, I don't give often or all of it because it's very confusing. Even to me, it's confusing. I especially have a hard time when I tell Vicki Halsey all the time that children are especially difficult for me. And like when we're in Nicaragua for VBS, that is not my forte. I can talk anybody junior high up. I can give testimony depending, and I can give parts of mine that apply to them. And that is really rambling around in a circle. But the reason is it took me many years to nail down that I was not afraid. I think in my head, I knew that you couldn't work your way to heaven, but I was trying to. Because I thought, and I would tell Poly, and he finally said, I'm not going to baptize you till you're sure. I remember one night he called my dad. They told me when I was saved when I was 8. I was either saved when I was 8, 16, or 30. But all I know is now it was Romans and precept class that did it. And it was the verse that the righteous shall live by faith. And I thought, I'm not living by faith. I am just still trying. If I'm good enough, God is going to accept me. And I know that you don't have to be good enough, or any of you have to be good enough. It's not based on your works. I knew that in my head, but I felt like I was still living like it was. So anyways, he freed me or saved me. And
He freed you. Wait, he saved you.
well, you know what I mean. Freed me from that doubt, that eternal doubt.
Here's the funny part of the story is Miss
which
Goody-
probably confused all
is
y'all.
Miss Goody Two Shoes, always want to obey the, follow the rules and do what you're supposed to, versus someone maybe not coming from that perspective growing up. I got saved, and man, I was like, woo! I never really thought twice more about it.
I have talked to many people, and no one can tell you. I would just pray. And if you've ever had that in your life, or if you talk to somebody like that, it doesn't matter what you say. It's not going to set them free from that doubt. Like, was I really saved? Maybe I should do it again just to make sure, because you cannot get saved
Hey, Scott.
too many times. But if you aren't saved, then that's all there is to it. And it was back in the day, we're in our 60s, early 60s. So back in the day when there was heavy hellfire and brimstone revival meetings, and I miss those sometimes, because you know what? So when I would talk to people, I would give my testimony or I would witness to them, and it'd be like, so this is what I'm saying, and this, and this, and if you give it heart, is that what you want to do? Do you understand what you want to do? Are you sure you understand? And so all of that. So it's been good. But Romans, now,
All that,
call me if you
Leanne,
need a clarification.
all that for the answer is Romans.
Yeah. Then the second question, I got to find it again. Oh, and this is a really good one, Melinda. Is there a way to receive a list of the graduating seniors so that we can pray for them?
Oh.
And you know what? Not only praying for them, but they probably would even love a note or something like that, because this is a very, as you all know, I don't need to explain to you how different their graduation is this year. So that's a great idea. And
yeah, you
what
meant
can we
all
do?
the parties and all the
Michael Jenkins, are you listening?
All the graduations, all that walking down, all that we all got to experience. This class did not get to experience that, and we're robbed of that. So that is a great idea, and I will check with Michael about that, how we might give that information out for you all to, I don't know, email or text and say congratulations. That's a great idea.
That's a good idea. I did look into that. I am
Thanks for that.
laughing because I'm trying to catch up after my long. Now you'll know why I don't give my testimony often, because it's confusing.
It's not confusing.
I want to make sure you know, if you want to be saved, that you're saved. The next question is from Greg and Paula. When you think about church getting back together again in the sanctuary, they're still working on that.
So
but they
here,
kinda have an idea.
the 4 stages that the mayor put out, which our church is in Davidson County, so we're going to comply with the mayor of Nashville's direction, which is, if you've read the 4 stages, our church gathering would fall into the 4th stage. So you know how those work is you go 14 days in stage 1, and then if things progress in the positive way, you move to stage 2 for 14 days. And if everything progresses, you go to stage 3. So when you add all those up, we're looking at somewhere mid to late June before stage 4 could possibly take effect, because our church is 300 or more. So mid to late June is what is the earliest we're looking at. Now, we are kicking around some other possibilities as far as smaller groups of people getting together. We're just talking about some of those ideas, and do we want to go to the expense and such of doing that? So like we'd say in the alphabet, A to whatever, A to M would meet, and then N to whatever, and then say everybody else is online, but that group comes live. Well, we just want to be really careful, though. There is, I tell you what, though, Greg, there is a survey. Everyone needs to help us with this. There's a survey going out after this Sunday. We're announcing it Sunday. It's a survey helping us understand where our church family is in some expectations. It's a survey that Scott McConnell and the Lifeway team has put together to help churches understand expectations from the congregation.
Last week? Or is that me and you?
I don't remember.
The days are.
But it's coming out Sunday, so you'll get it Sunday afternoon or Monday. If you'll encourage everyone in your groups or people you know to fill that out, because obviously the more who complete it, the more accurate information we're going to get across the board. So like, what are expectations like? Do you expect someone at the door, holding doors open so you don't have to touch the handle? If when you go to the bathroom, is there someone there who's wiping down the sink and everything between every person who uses the sink? What expectations are people wanting to see happen that will help them feel safe or safer in getting back together? So there's so much to that we're trying to walk through, but mid to late June.
Hi, Luke. Luke has a very important question. I can't wait to hear Pastor Poly's answer to this one either.
Luke, hold on. Cheese it time.
Okay. Luke wants to know your favorite president, and his is Woodrow Wilson, at least for today. I don't even think people know much about Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. That's a good pick, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
I like his hat.
All right.
No, I mean,
Brett, you'll have to tell me why Luke picked
Abraham Lincoln. I mean, was in the midst of so much struggle, difficulty, heartache, pain.
He had a hard time.
Division. I mean, all that, and it's just the way he spoke, the way he addressed, the way he helped our nation in that time. He's my favorite president.
I don't know enough about the presidents probably to answer that, at least as far as like what they did for the country, those kinds of things, and what, were they good, bad, or whatever. But I did start reading books written by the president's wives. And so I read one by Eleanor Roosevelt.
Birdie.
And one by Birdie Johnson. When we went to visit both of them, I was at the Truman House and the little White House in Texas.
We did.
And so that started me on that path. And those were very interesting. And as far as things I didn't know about either one, I felt like both Truman and I'm not getting political, trust me, both Truman and
Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson. They just had a hard time. They ended up being president at a time where they couldn't win for losing, hardly. It was a difficult time period.
Lincoln too.
Both of those times. Lincoln also, yeah. And maybe we probably could say that about a lot of presidents. But it's a very interesting, and I like that. I'd like to know why you picked him, what you liked about him.
We started a new message series called Great Leaders, Great Stories, Great Results this Sunday.
People's stories are the best thing.
We're talking about, no matter who you are, as you step into leadership, if it's if it's something on a smaller scale or a larger scale, it's not about that. But when you step into that, there's going to come struggle and difficulty, because no matter what you do, some people are going to like it,
Some won't.
and some people are not going to like it. And I even talked Sunday about our present day culture I'm really struggling with, that seems like it wants to look at leaders and do everything it can to find weakness and expose it, instead of try to find strengths and support it. It's like they just want to put a bullseye on every leader. I'm not just talking about political leaders, just all kinds of leaders. It's just like the culture wants to find a way to undermine instead of support.
You've heard that saying, you're not as bad as what they say that you are, and you're not as good as what they say you are either. The truth is somewhere probably in between. Yeah, it's somewhere in between. Then we had a couple of fun comments, and then we had a couple more good questions.
Fun comment number one.
Fun comment number one. Leanne admitted that, yes, you are older. Told you I knew that. And then Scott, is it Dupont?
Yes, Dupont.
Dupont said, I think I understand your confusion, sister. It may be to your left. I liked that one. That was for
To
me.
my
Thank
left?
you. No, my left. He's talking to me. Sister. I'm the sister. You're not a sister? How hard is this? Okay. Sorry. That was not very complimentary.
Oh, Lord.
Luke likes Abe Lincoln's beard. And now, Greg and Paula. Good questions, Greg and Paula. Y'all are keeping me on my toes. Second part. Julie, what grades did you teach? Are you talking about church or school?
School. I think she's talking about school.
And Polly, how serious were you about golf? That's a really long story. Give him the short version because we don't have that long.
Well, yours is first. How long did you teach?
He didn't say how long. He said what grades.
Oh.
I taught. I started off teaching.
In Texas?
No, I started off filling in for a woman who was pregnant in Florida.
Oh, that's right. Before we got married.
Yeah, for a few months, and then we moved, and I taught
What
sixth
grade
grade.
What grade was it in Florida?
I think it was 7th.
Okay.
I really don't remember that one, but
That
then I
was
remember
before
when I
middle
started
school,
teaching,
high
my
school
own class was 6th grade.
Right.
In a middle school. So It went from 6th to 9th, I think, was how they did it then.
Yep.
And there's a world of difference between a 6th grader and a 9th grader, as you all well know.
6th and the 7th
And
grade.
they should not have been in the same school, in my opinion. It was horrible. But
So you taught 6th grade.
6th grade.
And
then I have also taught, I guess, every grade. I skipped on to 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
high school.
I've had all of them in high school, mostly high school.
How serious was I about golf? Very serious.
You can go a little longer than
That's
that.
my short version.
That's a short version.
I took it up in 7th grade after the football coach pulled me aside at football tryouts and said, son, these boys are going to kill you.
He wasn't real big.
Oh yeah, man. I'd weighed 70 pounds, those I was going, he was right. They were going to kill me. I wanted to play so bad, but that wasn't for me. So I tried baseball, and it was something about standing
Sorry, Brett.
at the plate with a bat,
Scared him.
and a 7th grader or 8th grader on a pitching mound throwing a hard ball as hard as he could at me.
Started at your back.
For me to hit it. But a lot of times it hit the person instead of hit the bat. So I didn't, Brett, I'm sorry. I went, that just, no, what? I'm going to stay in here and let people throw at me? No. So I liked it when you put the ball on the tee and you hit the ball, not the ball hits you.
We do have a lot of funny baseball stories, though. So one day I'll have to tell you those.
So I started 7th grade, went through high school, into college, was going to get my PGA card when God called me to ministry. Boop, short. And that, I still love it. Still love going out. I'm not that good anymore, but because you got to keep it up to keep it going. Brett, chime in. I know he's got some thoughts
He
about
just
that.
said, "Ha." Now,
He was a catcher.
I gave up my promising softball career because I just got tired of the poor umpires and the whole infield.
She played catcher, but never caught the ball. Brett.
Nobody else wanted to play catcher,
The
so
umpire had to reach down, grab it, throw it back to the pitcher.
I played catcher. And when he got tired of it hitting him in the shin, he said, "I got it, hun," and he threw it back. And then if any play at home, I backed up to the fence, and the entire infield ran in and did the play.
Kitty Henry came in
Yeah, it was great. It worked for
from
me.
the mound pitching.
But
They covered the
nobody
plate.
else wanted me on their softball team, so that was the last time I ever played church softball in any capacity. Oh, okay.
I played church softball until they finally. I
We
got
got mad.
I got a hit, and I was on first base, and they called timeout, and they put a runner in for me.
Brett, it was the end of his career.
If I can't hit and run, no.
It was so
No.
unhappy with them.
We were done.
Yeah.
Over.
Okay, well, now we're digressing into like random thoughts. So we have any more good questions?
Oh,
Bad
some more.
questions?
That's
No.
it.
I don't see any more.
You sure?
Cheryl just said rebellion. I'm not really sure if that's a question, a comment. She's talking about you.
Probably.
I don't know. And Monica, you're in a good boat if you're with me. It's a good boat. All right. I'm at a standstill.
Oh, here's a question.
Did you just make it up?
What? No. What was it like raising 3 boys?
Is that on here?
No. I told you I had one come in through
Oh, that's
Facebook.
right. He did tell me that.
What was it like raising 3 boys? A lot easier than raising 3 girls.
I liked it. I thought it was great. I got mad at people. I mean, I didn't understand people because when they were little, people would come up, they'd look at the 3 boys and they would pat me and they go, "Oh, honey, it's going to be okay." They were good as gold when they were little. It's everything after that where they came into their own. They were still easier than girls, I think,
so.
just by talking to other people. I don't know this, but Polly's sister, Sherry, his oldest sister has 3 boys and a girl. And she said the 3 boys were way easier than the 1 girl any day. And they're all great kids. But I've just heard people say that. I didn't realize what a difference there was until we did VBS one time. And you had the groups of the little boys come in, and they were in preschool, and then the groups of little girls. And they came to this station. I don't remember what it was, some home living station where we were supposed to do an activity. And the girls, they were so nice and neat. They talked to each other. They did the activity just perfectly. They left. The boys would come in, and stuff went haywire. That's just my life. So I'm used to that. I'm used to greetings being like this. I mean, this is how you say hello. I mean, if there were fights in the hallway, I'd peek out, and if there was blood, I'd let Polly do it.
This is the
I'd
truth.
turn around, shut the door. I said, "I'm not doing it."
The
It has
boys
to
would
be a
be
certain
at it.
pitch.
There's no blood. She just turned and walk away.
My very favorite, though, was when we got a phone call message. It didn't go through, but we were out, and they were all home. And they were older, middle school, I guess, or whatever. It's
At
like,
least.
and I remember who called, like, "Oh, Mom, Dad, hurry home. So-and-so's going to kill so-and-so," whoever it was. Well, they were all alive when we got home, but a few days later, we did notice like the vent in the ceiling was cockeyed. I don't know what went down, but something. That's the way boys
There
are.
was a crack in the door.
It was fun.
So what was unique about each one? Dustin was
Where is that?
the compliant one. You could look at him and he'd straighten up.
He was firstborn. He had a lot of firstborn characteristics.
Drew was always the worker.
Very hard worker.
Always
And
the worker.
he takes most after Polly as far. He's very neat too. Dustin may be neat. I'm not really sure. Daniel and I, we fall into the messy category.
Daniel was stealth.
He's just laid back. He was the most
quiet,
chill child.
stealth, but when it came to the point of
When you reached his last nerve, then he would take
he'd
after.
go.
But it's funny how you can have 3 and they have similar characteristics and they have vastly different characteristics. And I always thought, that movie Cheaper by the Dozen, I always thought that was such a fun movie to watch. And if I birthed 12 kids, they would all be similar, but they would all have their own distinct personalities. I just think that's fascinating how the Lord does that. Okay.
What, Leanne have a question?
Well, I'm up to Gary Gann. To really understand scripture, do you need a Greek translation because of the difference in the languages? Polly. I'm not laughing at you, Gary. I'm just laughing because you speak my language and
to have
nitty gritty stuff.
To have I'm gonna say you got to have a Greek in order to understand. I will say though, it really
I
does.
think it's important.
It deepens and brings clarity. And that's why I use that so much when I try to say,
So
in
word
the original
studies that really
when you
change
look
it.
at this word, this is what this means. It brings clarity
I gotta get some.
to the context
me.
of the passage and deepens it, because again, for example, in the English language, we have one word for love. In the Greek language, you have 3 words for love. So in English, you try to understand which meaning of love are you talking about. In the Greek, there was no doubt. There was agape, eros, and a phileo, which is 3 different kinds of love. So when you find that in the text, it says in English love, but when you look in the Greek and say it's agape or it's phileo or it's eros, it brings clarity. So that happens over and over again when you do that. But there's some great, nowadays, let me tell you something. You folks, you guys got it made. It's a point and click to get that. And it's not like what it used to be as far as trying to get to that level or understanding those. It's a hover and click and a lot of softwares and things. What were you going to have?
I'm only recommending this with a little bit of caution, simply because I have not read it yet and I don't know much about people. But the people that have read it, and it's the second time it's come across that we try to understand the Bible from a Western perspective, and we need to understand it from a Jewish perspective. So I thought that this was really good, reading the Bible, and they bring a rabbi. And when we were in Israel, the guide kept saying the same thing, that when you look at it from a Jewish perspective, they would have understood these illustrations that sometimes don't make sense to us, and sometimes we think of them in the wrong way. So I'm interested to read this.
Sometimes it's very humorous. It was funny. And we don't see it that way, but it was really funny.
How to fix that? I don't know what I did.
I don't know.
The next question, I think, till Poly finds I messed up his phone somehow. The heaven study. Yeah. What is our perspective on heaven? A lot of y'all are taking that. It's a really good study. Where is that? Where am I? Oh, Thursday Bible study on heaven. What is your vision of heaven? And then Debbie McConnell echoed that.
What is my vision of heaven? I don't know if I understand the question. Like what I think it looks like?
When you think of heaven, what do you think of? Is that what you're asking?
Well, this is me. It's just me, okay? I think the English language or even verbiage is going to never do justice to that which God has prepared in advance for us in heaven. I think there's things you can understand about it.
When you think of heaven, what do you think of? I guess that's what Leanne says.
And I think of hitting that long drive straight down the middle.
Wow. That's not where I was going to go.
Catching that 10-pound
Randy
bass in perfect
Alcorn
lake. Yeah.
Changed my perspective of when I think of heaven now, of what I think, because he's written a series of fiction books about it, like 2 or 3 that went together, and a couple of nonfiction books on heaven. And in the fiction ones, he would start off with, where the Bible is clear, I've stuck to that. Where the Bible is not clear, who's to say it might not be like this? And so he would spin this line. I thought, well, how interesting. It could be like that. It's not anti-biblical. We don't really know. Won't they be fun? I think we will know lots of things and questions that you don't understand. I think we'll know each other, but I don't know how, because of all different ages of people when they left this physical earth. I just think it's going to be everything that's good about the earth. Like C.S. Lewis says, it's covered in a shadow and we don't see it clear. And even the Bible says that all of creation is even groaning because it wants to be redeemed from the sin on the earth. I think we're going to see it in its clarity, how it was maybe in the Garden of Eden. I don't know. I think maybe for the first time I might be able to like fly. You just think a place and you're there. As far as like, we're going to see Jesus.
Transport.
I think we can talk to people.
I
don't know. I just think it's going to be really fun.
Beam me up, Scotty.
It's going to be interesting. And I think the most sobering thought about, if you think about heaven, is if someone you love, or even maybe not love, but just a fellow man, thinking that they won't be there, because my thoughts about hell are equally as vivid as my thoughts about heaven. And one is a great place, obedience and life, a gift of God, and one is a horrible place that I don't even think you can begin to imagine.
I think they're both
So,
that kind. I think,
yeah.
again, think about Revelations, a place of no pain, no tears, no anxiety, no depression, all of these things that we deal with, we've always dealt with. And when you remove that completely, I don't have
We've
words.
Only seen the world. We've only seen the world and how we deal under the shadow of sin.
Yeah.
And so with that removed, it's going to be quite something.
Yes, it's. I can't describe it.
I can't. I don't know if I can either. Someone, Greg and Paul asked, "Do we miss living in Florida?"
Do we miss
about
living in
6 weeks
Florida?
into winter? I miss living in Florida for about 4 weeks.
Today she said
That's
it.
Today
she
I
said, "I need
to go to the beach.
I need the basket of shrimp, key lime pie,
Lacey,
and
the pizza.
my feet in the sand under the umbrella on the beach."
Yeah,
she said it today.
I have to have that is my happy place. As far as I love lots of places. I love the lake. I love the mountains. I love the desert. I love all those things, and they're beautiful. But if I really need to be revived, it's got to have something about water.
But do you miss living in Florida? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I mean,
no, I don't miss living in Florida.
Really?
I miss how close it is to the beach. That's what I miss, the beach, not living in Florida. I like living here better, actually.
Okay, wait a minute.
Well, I mean,
you can't separate that.
Yes, you can. Orlando is way
separated. The beaches
separated.
were Florida. Okay. So here it is. I used to get this question, Greg, all the time when I first moved here. Like, how do you like Tennessee to Florida? And honestly, I would go, hey, it's really an unfair question because it's two different categories. It's two different places completely. And we love them both. So it's not like we like one and more we like the other. We like them both. We like them both equally for different reasons. I do like the touch of the four seasons. I don't like the length of the winter, but I do like the touch of the four seasons. I do like the trees changing colors. I didn't grow up with that. Mm-mm. I grew up in
the different kinds
Central
of trees.
South Florida.
But I miss the tropical trees.
Didn't have any of that ever. A little bit of snowfall a few times a year. I enjoy that. The beauty of it. You can sit and just rest in that. Fire in a fireplace. We love that.
We do.
Sitting by the fireplace and sitting at the ocean, to me, does similar emotions to me or similar feelings to me.
Oh, really? You're just as happy by the fireplace as you are at the ocean?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, you can learn something new every single day.
You can sit by the fireplace, cup of coffee or something with a book and just chill.
And I like winter. Don't get me wrong. I like winter. It's just about 6, 7, 8 weeks at the most. I'm done with the cold.
That's our context.
Because we're used to really a lot warmer.
We didn't have that growing up. So it's out of context for us.
The Christmas and Thanksgiving pictures are much nicer as far as seasonally appropriate. All our growing up ones are in shorts and flip-flops and t-shirts.
I water skied on Christmas. Yeah. That's what I did.
It was hot.
February
is the nicest month in Florida,
so
in my opinion.
I'm gonna say I miss it. I'm not ashamed to say I miss parts of Florida.
I like living here though.
Okay. I will say though, we went back to Florida, I don't know, a decade or so ago, and we went, this place is really ugly. I mean, honestly, it's flat.
The houses are not.
The houses are like.
I didn't know they made pretty houses
and the trees don't go very tall.
Yeah, they were built to withstand hurricanes. The old school.
It was pretty. We remember it being this ugly. So.
We didn't remember it being suffocatingly hot, like people that would come to visit us and say that I can't breathe.
Humidity.
All of a sudden, we knew what they were talking about. Like, I can't breathe.
Two things. People say it's so thick. It's so, so wet and thick down here. I'm going, I don't know what you're talking about. I do now. And then growing up, when I'd see commercials on TV about itchy eyes and runny nose and allergies, I went, what is wrong with those people?
That would be on the negative side
now,
of living here.
In Tennessee, I know that. And I have that I've never had in my entire life. The pollen and all that.
Now, Lacey, who would you cast to play yourself in the movie version of your life? Love. Is Love the movie? Or are you Love Reese Witherspoon? Or you think Reese Witherspoon would play you? What is the last part of this comment?
Who do you think would play you in your movie playing you?
My life?
Yes. She was saying something about.
No, I don't think that was about me though.
Reese Witherspoon.
She loves me. But I don't know. She's saying.
Maybe she thinks you.
Oh yeah, no, Reese would play her. See, that's what I thought.
Oh, who would play you?
Who would play me? Ah. I have to think on that one a while.
I couldn't even begin
It'd have to be a
there
crazy
'cause I
person.
don't know one movie person from another. I really don't.
Doris Day comes to mind. Only because she was kind of wacky.
Que sera, sera.
Oh man, I don't know.
Whatever will
Who would
be,
play you?
will be. They didn't ask that question. They asked you that question.
Well, she didn't actually say.
She said
She
you.
said you.
You.
Okay, well.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, happy birthday, Kim. Today's your birthday. We
Warboy.
made it from last week to this week. Now we can
Happy
officially
birthday to you. Happy
That's why we don't sing
birthday
solos.
to you. Happy birthday, dear Kay. Happy birthday to you.
Dan, you should sing, but nobody would hear you unless you come
Dan
over
sang
here.
at the funeral last week. Did a great job as always. For Miss Ruth Toombs and Charlie.
Yeah. Okay.
What we
Any
got?
other questions? We have some time left.
All right. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you know about the survey coming out Sunday. Please fill it out, turn it in as soon as you can. Help others in your groups, help life groups to know more about that. Help them know it's really, really important for us. We got just a few more minutes left to hang out with you guys. Love doing that. Any other questions or thoughts?
Nope. People like the beach. Pray for some of our. Oh yes, thank you, Dan. Pray for some of our Lifeway friends having some big changes over there, as lots of corporations in America.
I'm not going to. It's not changes.
No, I don't mean changes.
It's
people's lives will be changed because of what's happening.
You don't shut down the world for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it's going to be. You don't do that. And I try to help our church see that from day one without having some major, major impact. And Lifeway is, when you got 75% of your income coming from curriculum from churches aren't meeting, churches aren't ordering curriculum. Therefore, Lifeway is like, what? And they can only go so far. But it's hard. It's going to be more. I've talked to a lot of men in our church who are having to do furloughs. I've talked to a lot of men who had to lay off a lot of people at work. I know, man. It's the next quarter is going to be a really, really struggle. Pray for families. Pray for our church. It's going to be hard for us. Been in their jobs. It's going to be hard for us.
They've been in their jobs for a long time, and due to this domino effect, their job has been eliminated. And so
it has nothing to do with performance or abilities.
Amy has put hers
funds
out on Facebook, and so she's been working at her job a long time, and her last day is a few weeks from now. So there's lots of people in that, and then we've talked to, like Polly said, many others. And whether you're at a place where you have to let people go below you, or you've been let go from someone above you, or whatever, it's all heartbreaking, and they agonize over it. And I don't think anybody does it lightly. Or it's just hard. It's very hard. It breaks my heart. But we're going to be okay, because God, nothing takes him by surprise. And that's what I say over and over again, is that nothing surprises you, Lord. Your timing is impeccably perfect. And we need to learn what we need to learn out of this. For me, I've learned all kinds of lessons already. And I hope not to ever forget those things that you find are really important. Sylvia Wilson said maybe there can be a Sunday service outdoors.
That's a great thought. We have talked about that, Sylvia, so you'll know. Again, we'd have I don't know how we'd organize that as far like if the number. In other words, right now you can't have any group larger than 10. The next step is 50. And the next step is 100. And then the next step is 300. So, how do we have an outdoor service that only has 50 or less? Is the next step, or 100 or less, because we really want to listen to what I'm saying. We really want to be supportive of the leaders who have a very challenging and difficult job. of leading
Pick a
our
path.
city and our community to doing things well and safe. And we want to support them. I'm not saying I'm going to agree with everything. That's not what I'm saying, but I want to be supportive and a positive witness in our community. And so we want to do things.
It's going to screen and stage, all in cars, and let me back up a minute. You're right, Scott. If you're a life group leader or you know a life group leader, it would be great to get the word out about the survey. Just let your little group that y'all meet with know that.
Yeah.
Polly's mom went to a drive-in church in Daytona, and it was an old movie theater, and so they had, I think in the beginning, the things you could use, but then as the years went by, they turned on the radio.
But we still have to say the first 50 people, when we
Right.
hit stage 2, the first 50 people,
It was neat.
that's it. You couldn't let anybody else on the property, or you would be in violation of the orders from the mayor. So, but it's a good thought. We're talking about it.
Lots of
Keep
good
praying
ideas.
for us that we'll have good thoughts and good choices and good decisions. We want to do what's right, but we want to do what's healthy and good for our church too. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I'd have everybody come back tomorrow if it was me, but it's not me, you know? All right.
That's the last question I have on here. Y'all have some good thoughts here. Cheryl, are you under the authority of Southern Baptist Church Beyond Walls and Greg Locke in Mount Juliet? Is that an example you're giving me of out of the boundaries? Are we under the authority of Southern Baptist?
No, every Southern Baptist church is its own. We
That's
believe
what
in
makes
autonomy.
Southern Baptist. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Every church makes its own call, its own decisions. It's not the convention.
Oh, they do drive up church. Yeah, Greg. Okay, in Mount Juliet does a drive up church.
Yeah, and it's been this is just me, there have been some negative thoughts along those lines. Again, because
There's
they're
negative
doing
and
some
positive
things
on
outside
everything.
the parameters that we are choosing not to do. I'm not saying they're wrong. That's not what I'm saying. For us, we want to be seen.
Taking a little bit deeper look at it to make sure.
Yeah.
So we're
But
all good.
pray for us. We are still talking about those things. Who knows? A couple of weeks that may change.
Will we
Everything may
bring
change.
the children back at the same time we bring the adults back to life groups? That's a really good question.
All right, right now, this is kind of what we're looking at. No decision, nothing's in ink. It's all in pencil. It can be.
Yeah, they're still
erased
discussing
and
lots of
changed.
things.
We're talking about the first stage of coming back to church would be to a worship service only. And we would potentially tape off sections on the pews where we would say, sit with a blue section tape only. So where there was a blue tape on the pew, you could sit there. So those would be stagnated or all over the church, 6 feet apart, so that we would organize ourselves in that. The reason we do the colored tape is because we'll have to have multiple services. Again, we're just thinking through all this. So one service would be sit with red tape, the other service would be sit with blue tape, because you wouldn't want to sit in the same seat that someone just sat in
Good point.
until you had time to clean it. So, but even in between services, we'd have to wipe down all the wood. We'd have to have teams come in, wipe down all the wood and wipe out all the doorknobs. And we'd have to have 30 minutes to clean everything the best we could for another group to come in. But they'd sit in another part of the section. So because of the massiveness of that, we're looking at potentially, first few services would be 2 services on ground floor only. I know balcony people don't like, I know. But think about trying to clean the entire place. It would be just
turnaround time.
It'd just be too difficult. We had just a ground floor. We could do that. We feel like, again, the survey is going to help us. Okay. Who feels comfortable coming back? Do our older adults feel comfortable coming back? Do parents with kids feel comfortable coming back? What does it look like? Will we have 800 people coming back or 200 people coming back? So that'll dictate some of what we do when we can do it. So all that's being talked about. So the first stage is worship service only. Second stage.
And bring your, please bring your kids with you. It's
Oh yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
they're
It's
noisy-
everybody in there together.
If they're noisy, it's okay. They're kids. If it's like you think, okay, nobody around 20 feet can understand anything because they're so noisy, then walk the hallway for a little bit, find a
It'll be
place where
fine.
nobody, it's going to be
It'll
fine.
be fine, man. It'll be fine. Second stage would be worship service and kids worship services happening, which is treehouse and garage. That's step 2. Then step 3 would be worship service, kids worship services, and life groups would meet. And then step 4 would be all of that, and then Wednesday night activities and events kick back in.
And you all know how difficult this has got to be, from the president on down to the governors to the mayors that are trying to make decisions for people's safety. You know how difficult this has been. And then you know that they keep adding different symptoms, they keep adding different scenarios, they keep changing this and that, because nobody really knows the bottom line to this. Is it going to get worse in the fall? Is it going to be a really horrible winter? Are we going to go in, out of stay at home? We don't know. So with what we know now, this is what they've been discussing, the best I can tell, because I asked Polly the same questions. That is an advantage that I have here. What are y'all doing? What's the plan? So anything that he said could not happen at all, could change, but that's what they're thinking.
4 steps would take months to implement.
So we'll see how it is when people open up and every state's being different.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? What are the numbers going to do? And and it's not even a particular age group. When I look at the numbers, there's a good section right in those 30, 40s that are paying a big price and some weird symptoms. And it's just a crazy thing. I have no other words. I keep saying that every day. This is so crazy.
Church will not be the same.
I don't think school's not going to be the same. I don't think the world will not be the same. They will do some things differently.
Yep.
So it's interesting.
It's all going to shift. Some of the things we're doing, we're learning because of this, the Zoom classes and the stuff like we're doing, we're going to keep that going. We're going to keep, in fact, some life groups are having better attendance on Zoom than they do live.
Because you can do it if you happen to be on vacation, you have a little bit of time, or you can do it while you're on the road, or if you're sick.
It's a new turn. It's a new twist to church that we're learning about, and I think it's here to stay.
I did see there's been a lot of humor, which we do. I think humans do best. They do use humor to lighten up the mood when things are really grim and you're not making light of it. It helps your spirit. So a funny thing I saw the other day, which made all the sense in the world, is like March had, like, y'all probably seen this, had like 4,000 days in it, because that's when it kind of all hit for us here in Tennessee. And April just zoomed on by, which I thought was funny because everybody was on Zoom in April. So it was a funny one to me. I guess you have to have my sense of humor.
I get it.
Did you get it?
It zoomed on by.
Because everyone was on Zoom. I liked it. I can tell you my favorite joke too. What did the
oh no.
What did the mama bullet say to the daddy bullet? I give y'all time to think about it.
I think you go ahead. Go ahead.
We're gonna have a BB. A BB, a little BB.
40 years I've been hearing that joke.
Okay, I'm done.
40 years. She got that off of Bazooka Gum.
Yeah, that was a great one.
If you know what Bazooka Gum is, you're an old one.
I know. I am looking forward to that. Lacey's on the sideline here, which is fine, because the new Magnolia from Chip and Jo Network. I'd like to look at that. S'mores. Oh no. Close to burnt. How do you like your marshmallows and s'mores?
No, I like my marshmallows brown,
yeah,
and warm and gooey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them charcoal or burnt.
Who eats barely cooked ones? Surely not you. Krista, do you eat your s'more marshmallows barely cooked?
Leanne laughed at your joke.
Thank you, Leanne.
You're nice, Leanne.
You do?
You're
Krista,
sweet.
you eat yours barely cooked?
Now, growing up, I didn't roast them all growing
I
up.
don't like marshmallows that are marshmallows. I put them in the microwave at home.
Hey, just take a graham cracker, put the chocolate between it, and eat it.
Oh no, you're brown and gooey. Yes. Oh, you were talking to Polly.
Brown and
Anybody
gooey.
just like plain marshmallows?
Brown and gooey.
I like them.
I used to as a kid, not anymore.
But it's really fun. Hey, Luke, if you're still listening, Put marshmallows on graham crackers, put them in the microwave for about 15 seconds, and watch them puff up really big. It's really fun. Then you can eat it.
Or get yourself a moon pie. Put a moon pie in the microwave. Don't put it very long.
No.
We're talking like 10 seconds.
No, 12. 12 seconds. Any flavor. Chocolate is the best.
12
yeah, because when we lived in Mobile, we learned a lot about Mardi Gras.
Are you going to tell this really?
I am going to tell this. Everybody went to the Mardi Gras parades because they were very proud in Mobile. Let me listen to the whole thing now.
Oh my gosh.
They were very proud because
nice being your
Mardi
pastor.
Gras
Appreciate
originated
the
in Mobile. It originated in Mobile. It was family friendly at the beginning, and they threw out tons of moon pies and all kinds of stuff. The kids thought it was great. Everybody, every church, they all went.
This is the truth.
It's the truth. You did not go midweek on, but it still was nothing like New Orleans. But my kids grew up in this, and that's how we had bowls of moon pies, and how I know
they bring home trash bags full of moon pies.
But they taste better like that. And they would throw out candy for them.
Microwave.
And so when they went to the next parade, like a Christmas parade, they want to know, where's all the stuff? Because nobody throws out stuff like they did in Mobile. I mean, they were scooping up bags of stuff they would come home with. Anyways, so yeah, this is a true story. And they also want to know why their father was not on a crew. I said, because he's not
Mardi Gras crew.
A Mardi Gras crew, because everybody's dad, they went to.
Was on a float of some kind, but I wasn't.
Anyways, so that's our story of Mardi Gras. Science lesson tomorrow. That's good. Oh, that's what we did in Mobile. We went to Mardi Gras parades. And we ate beignets. That's where we learned to eat.
Now listen, the beignets, there's the Mobile beignet, there's the New Orleans beignet.
Both are good.
The Mobile beignet is made out of yeast, right? It's a yeast.
I don't remember. There was a difference, but I don't remember.
It's a yeast bread, white yeast bread. Oh my goodness, they were good. They're good in New Orleans too, but it's a different kind.
But if you like moon pies, you would like them better heated up. They are tons better.
I don't like them. Yeah,
I don't like them plain.
Absolutely.
Did we ever go to the Jesus festivals in Orlando?
Yes.
We
once.
did. Mostly it came after we left.
We took a group of college kids from First Baptist Lakeland, Florida, to the Jesus Festival.
Did I go? Because I don't remember going.
I don't think you went. I think it's when Dustin was born. You didn't go. Yeah, we did.
Oh, I'm not saying we didn't. I just don't remember.
It was awesome. We did. All right, here we are.
Got 4 minutes, and then we say good night, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. Oh, I think I messed that up. Fix it, Dan.
Fix it, Dan.
Dan does a song.
Look up, Dan-o.
Why did y'all live in Mobile? Oh, we went to Dolphin Way.
I was at Dolphin Way Baptist Church as the youth minister, staff coordinator there. Dolphin Way Baptist Church, the church with a porpoise.
Sorry, Dan said he can only fix so much. Come on, Dan, you can fix anything. You can't fix my singing and my lyrics. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I love that song. Sound of Music. Maybe I'll have to watch that this week. That's a good classic.
All right.
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And pray for you. Pray for us. Be there for one another. Stay connected the best you can to your groups and to people I know that you care for. And again, we kick off a new series, Great Leaders, Great Stories, Great Results. 4-week series on some great leaders in the Bible.
And everyone is a leader, even if you don't think you are.
Yeah.
You lead somebody. You have influence over someone who watches you.
Everybody's leading somebody. So that's May. We're looking forward to that. Make sure the survey, you get it filled out, get others filled out. God bless. Good night.
Good night.
And I'm not going to sing for you.
Oh, well, I'm not either because I can't remember how it went.
See you next week.
Use your phone.